So for a while now I've been trying to learn to draw portraits, and I believe it is quite a complicated topic to study. Especially if you're trying to become a self-taught artist, there is so many things that you can learn and it's very easy to get lost. So in this video I want to share a map that I created for myself that basically helps me navigate this complex topic. And in this map there's all these simple tools that you can use to improve, where I put together everything that I learned from different courses, teachers, tutorials, books from artists that are very experienced in the topic and old masters, and hopefully find a way that is kind of interactive and more fun to study and learn how to draw better portraits. So let's begin. So at level 0 I put the box level, and I believe this is as simplified as you can get when you're trying to draw a portrait. Essentially what you're doing when you're trying to learn and draw boxes is a 3D space representation of somebody's head. So you take into account in your own mind the space that somebody's head is occupying and which direction it is currently facing. So this means in this topic that it is worth practicing some basic perspective, and you can make it as complicated as you want for yourself, basically going from maybe one vanishing point or even two vanishing points, but you're simplifying this topic into complete basics, and you're practicing some basic perspective, basic shapes, and you can also add some basic values. So you can now start introducing a bit of light, but keeping it very, very simple. Another good way to practice drawing boxes is when you take a bunch of references and you're trying to create this box shape representing the face in that exact reference. Now at level 1 we're adding a tiny bit of more complexity to the shape, and we are adding a sphere or an ovoid with a half cylinder. I'll get to the details, the difference between the two in a second, but if we first have a look at the model of a skull, if you turn it around and try to simplify it in the most basic of shapes, you get to see this much more clear, because now you can see this ovoid, this half cylinder that goes through, that's representing the jaw, and similarly when you turn the other direction it becomes very clear. And of course if you choose to look at it from a 3/4 perspective, you can still see this same ball or sphere-like figure with this half cylinder for the jaw. A very good book that I could recommend for this practice in particular is Morpho's book on anatomy for face, head and neck. It's a very small book, so it's easy to travel with, and in this book they give pretty good examples of how these constructions work. So if we have a look at the model, this is where this front plane that wraps around the skull is cutting in and representing this half cylinder. Now it goes without saying that one of the most famous methodologists, also known as the Loomis head, goes and covers this topic in great depth. Now, I have this book with the kinky name Fun with a Pencil from a while ago, and in this book they have specific sections where they look at these half cylinder shapes connecting to the ball shape and also depicting the head in greater detail. Now Andrew Loomis wrote a number of books, and those can be found here. It goes without saying that it's one thing to read a book, and of course it's much more important to actually do the practice applying the methodologies described in the book. So to recap, you're practicing spheres, half cylinders, placement of these features, placing them together to represent the 3D space of the head, and ideally you want to try out and do this while looking at different references and trying to get the angle similar to the reference that you're trying to draw. Which leads us just in time for level 2, basic planes. And the way Loomis' head was drawn, it adds a bit of complexity. So now, as you notice when you look for this tool, you have these markings where you have the top of the hairline, the eyebrow ridge, where is the bottom of the nose, and last but not least, you have the chin. So additionally, what this allows you to do is to build this habit where you keep on marking these average proportions. And I say average because not every face will have these identical proportions, and when you practice with more and more references you get to see that indeed every face is slightly unique in its own way. So to recap, in this level we have changes in planes of the head, and the different proportions that come for these specific 3 planes that we were just discussing. Which leads us to level 3, Features 1.0. Now, the goal in this level in particular is to simplify the features as much as possible so we don't get carried away with the details just yet, rather just have this completely basic representation of the space that the different features are occupying. So this means a simple representation where two spheres are representing the eyes, you have ears, which are kind of like chopped up boxes, a nose that can be just a simple box that is displayed at an angle, and of course a combination of these basic shapes that represent the lips. Now, of course, there's a number of courses that explain this much better than I can, and if I was to recommend two, these are the ones that helped me the most. So it's one course from Robert Marzullo, How to Draw Planes of the Head, and the other one was from Jane Beata, and she is teaching a lot of watercolor classes, and I took one of these classes and they cover these simplified facial features also. So to recap, in this level you have simplified features and more basic shapes, and you're just trying to understand the 3D space that is occupied by different features of the face. Which leads us to level 4, where you start putting everything together and you have this first simplified face. Now, as I was learning this topic, I came across a pretty good tool. I am in no way affiliated or sponsored by the creators of this app. However, Head Model Studio is a pretty good tool to study these subjects and also use it as references. They come with a number of features that are also possible in the free model. I did pay for the app, so then it unlocks a bunch of more things, and they have these Asaro heads, Riley heads, also Loomis heads, a bunch of more things such as having skulls, realistic figures, and some statues that you can rotate and use it for reference. You of course can also change the lighting and a bunch of other features, so I think it's a pretty good app to practice with. Two of my favorite courses on this topic was again from Robert Marzullo, How to Draw Heads, and the other one was from David Finch. Now both of these artists have courses on how to draw comics, and that's exactly the ones that I did in the past. So to recap, in this level you have basic value changes, feature placement, and you're putting together this basic representation of a face. And then we reach level 5. And essentially in level 5, what we do is add more complexity. So we're going backwards from the initial goal of simplifying, and now we're trying to add more and more complexity, which means in level 5 you can use the more complex part of Asaro head in whichever reference that you're trying to use. You're trying to depict and understand the 3D space occupation of different facial features of the head, of different planes of the head. So it's not necessarily to draw somebody with the exact reference. We're still doing this construction of the head steps that teaches you to understand where the plane changes, where does the light hit, where does the shadow come, and things like that. If there was one course that I would greatly recommend for this one, and again, I'm not sponsored, so I'm just doing it purely out of the goal to share what helps to learn, Marco Bucci's course on planes of the head brilliantly goes through each of these topics in a lot more depth, and is of course differently structured than I mapped out my own learning how to draw faces, but I cannot recommend any other course more than this one. It is a brilliant course that really prepares you how to draw faces in a lot more detail, and of course it has all these topics done by a master. He also has a YouTube channel, so he does share a lot of these videos available for free, so I think these two are definitely worth checking out on this topic in particular. So to recap, level 5, you have advanced plane changes and intermediate facial features, and you can practice this in a number of ways by trying to draw the Asaro head itself, or maybe trying to draw from reference and now indicating those plane changes and different more advanced facial features, and essentially anything that your creativity can come up with, as long as it helps you to understand the 3D representation of someone's face. And those were the first 5 levels of learning to draw from construction drawing perspective. This is how I mapped it out for myself, and obviously there's so many different ways that you can learn this. My main goal is to share some concepts, to share some tools, and share this idea that basically when things get too complicated, you can always level down and simplify things more. So when you get comfortable of doing things very simple, you can add complexity and most importantly, have fun learning to draw. This was another episode of Make Journey. I hope this was useful. I wish you a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.